Hi everybody, this is Lisa, and it's time again for another Verbling class. This hour we're going to have a reading class. I just posted the link there in the Verbling chat box. That is a link to the article in Wired magazine, but I am going to put it in a Google Doc also so we can read it and people can see it here on the screen as well. Hi there, Tarcisio. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Good. Good to have you back. And Buddy, you're going to come read with us?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Good. All right. Like a boss, huh?
Lisa,
Yes?
sorry, but my connection is not very well.
Oh, what's the matter with it?
I'm dropping all the time.
Hmm.
I don't know what's happening.
Has it been happening a lot today?
Yeah, I'm dropping all the time.
Oh.
I'm just upset.
Yeah, that sucks. It's so frustrating when you have to use the internet and you don't have a good service, reliable service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it goes.
Lisa, by the way, I
Yeah.
have to use new strategies for get a cold city because this is not working. Well, actually, I have my Trump card,
Yes.
but I am afraid that if I use it, maybe you would be affected by it.
Oh, yes?
Yeah. So I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
It's a secret, but I will
Okay.
tell you. I don't know if I can do it. I can do this hangout from my cell phone, smartphone. So if I can,
Yeah.
can you imagine me taking the class and inside of my balcony, the
Yeah.
beach, something like, "Hi Lisa, look the beach." I don't want you to leave your family and coming here, so I'm thinking about you. It's very dangerous.
How close are you to the beach?
5 minutes walking from where I'm sitting right now.
Wow, that's really close.
Yeah.
But why do you want to come and snowboard?
Because here there is no season, so always hot. It just rains sometimes in some months, so
Yeah.
I wanna snow, I wanna fall.
You want some variety, right?
Yeah,
You want,
that's it.
yeah, you're getting tired of
A
the heat.
change.
Yeah, you want to change. I
Yeah.
get it. All right, I hear you. I like the changes. It's nice when the sun comes, and it's nice when the snow comes or the rain or cooler weather. Yeah, I agree. Okay, let's see who's here today with us. So Body's from Colombia. He's looking to go to a cold climate. So we could have a Verbling class on home exchanges, and everybody can go visit each other. Okay, and Dario, or how do I say your name? Dairo? Hi there. You're sitting in the dark. Dairo, verbal. Dairo. I don't hear you. Maybe your microphone is muted. So check on the, yeah. Check the mic. Diego, how are you doing today? And I think maybe your microphone is muted too. Fernando, I hear you. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good. All right, and Harinzon, you're here with us today. How are you doing?
Hello, Lisa. I'm doing very well.
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Yes. I read all the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And I
Nice.
did some grade for my student.
Uh-huh. You're grading some papers or
Yes.
tests or something? Okay, good. And Maria Jose is going to be right back. So Pedro, how are you doing?
Hi, I am fine.
Good. Daryl, your microphone is having some feedback or something, I think.
Me.
I don't know. I think it's Daryl. Yeah. Daryl?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, hey, how do I say your name?
My name is Dayron.
Dayron?
Yeah,
Okay. And where are you from?
I'm from Colombia, Cartagena.
Wow, a lot of people from Colombia, huh? Great.
Yeah, it seems to be.
I think Verbling's getting popular in Colombia and in Brazil and Mexico. We have a lot of students.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes. Pedro, where are you from?
Brazil, São Paulo.
Sao Paulo. Okay, cool. And Stefano, where are you from?
I'm from Italy, near Milan. Hi, everybody.
Okay.
Hello.
Are you in Italy right now?
Yes,
It's very early in the morning, isn't it?
yes. But I like to stay asleep.
Uh-huh.
Asleep.
You like to stay asleep later? When do you go to sleep? What time do you usually go to sleep?
Because I'm not working, I wake up at late in the afternoon.
Okay. You stay up late and wake up late. Okay.
Yes.
All right, great.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, good to meet you.
Hi, Lisa.
Hey, Maria Jose, how are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Nice picture.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, cool. All right. I have an article for you guys to read. It's about this thing called a boot camp. You guys know what a boot camp is? You guys heard of that before?
No, nothing. I don't know.
Nothing. Nobody? Okay. All right. So boot camp, I'm going to explain it to you. Boot camp is if you join the army or the military, for example, they send you to boot camp. So boot camp is the very beginning, probably, I don't know how long it lasts, maybe 2 months, 8 weeks or something like that. And it's very intense. So in the military, when you go to boot camp, mostly they're working on you getting in shape, so you're running a lot, you're exercising a lot, they're giving you orders, and they're starting to teach you all the things about the military. But the point about the boot camp is that it's very short and it's very intensive. So now people use the word boot camp if they're going to explain something where you're going to have a very short but very intensive experience. So the article that we're going to read today is called Dev. It's about a thing called Dev Boot Camp, and Dev is short for developer. So some of you, I don't know if we have any in this class today, but often I have people who work as web developers or software developers. Is anybody a developer here tonight in this class? No,
I'm not.
You're not. Okay, all right. So sometimes we have web developers. Anyways, the article that we're going to read is about that. And it's about this idea that it's a new idea. So in the United States, I don't know if it's happening in other countries, but in the United States, going to college and going to the university is very expensive now. It's very expensive to pay for tuition, plus paying for your living expenses, plus a lot of times you don't necessarily get a job right after you graduate from the university. So a lot of people are looking to other ways of training and getting the skills that they want or need to find the type of job that they would like to have. So this company created a program, and they call it Dev Bootcamp, and it's for people who are interested in learning how to become beginning web developers, software engineers. So instead of going to college and maybe getting a degree in computer science or a master's degree even in computer science, what they're saying is we can teach you in, I think it's 9 weeks, and usually about 900 hours in that 9 weeks. So they have them there for like 14 hours per day. And they're going to teach these people how to be programmers in that short, very short amount of time. But the special thing about it is that you don't have to pay for this training until you get a job. So, for example, when you go to college or other types of trainings, oftentimes you have to pay a lot of money. College can be very expensive, but also other types of training could be very expensive, maybe several thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars even. But this company started up and they have a different philosophy, a different idea of how to do things. So we're going to read that, and I'm just giving you all of that information as an introduction so you have a little idea of what this article is going to be about. I've never been to one of these boot camps. I'm not really a software developer, although I do know how to do some website design stuff. But everybody, I just posted it in the Verbling chat. So go ahead. You can also read it from the Wired article, but I am putting the article I just copied and pasted and made it a little bigger here so that people who are watching on the screen, because as you guys know, at Verbling, all the classes are live. So we're live right now, and there are lots of people who did not get into this class, and so they're just watching it. And so they want to read along as well. And so that's one way that you can read along. So does everybody have the article in front of them? Stefano, do you have it with you? And Pedro, everybody?
Yes, yes.
Me, I have the text in front of me.
Okay, the text is in front of you. Good. All right, so here we go. We're going to read, and the way that we do this, I'll explain again, is I will highlight like this, the part that I'm going to read, and I will read it out loud. And while I'm reading it out loud, that's for you to listen and to just hear how I am pronouncing the words, and for you to think about what you're hearing to see if you understand. If you don't understand some words, you can ask me. Just stop me and ask me what it means, and I can go over it right then. After I read, then I'm going to have one of you guys read, and that way everybody in the class, in the Google Hangout here, will have a chance to read probably at least once, and then you will, then I'll ask you some questions, we'll go over some vocabulary, make sure we understand everything, and then maybe we'll have a discussion if we have time about this, okay? If
Right.
you are listening to the class, you're not in the Google Hangout, but you're watching, and you have a question about something or you want to make a comment, you can do so in the Verbling chat box. As you can see, people are over there talking to each other a little bit, and so here we go. I'm going to start. Tuition at Learn to Code Bootcamp is free until you get a job. So just for you guys to know, tuition, everybody know what that means? Tuition?
Tuition.
Yes.
Tuition.
Okay. So the tuition is the money that you pay to go to do anything. So for example, if you apply to a university and you get in, you're going to have to pay tuition. That's the money you pay to go to the program. So they're not charging you any money to go to this program until you get a job. Okay? So in a few months, another graduating class of college students will stumble out into an unforgiving job market weighed down by staggering debt. A lot of big words in that one sentence. But one school in one of the hottest hiring markets in the country is flipping the script on student loans. Until you get a job, you don't pay. Okay, Stefano, you want to read that part, please?
Yes.
Go ahead.
In a few months, another graduating class of college students will stumble out into an unforgiving job market, weighed down by staggering debt. But one school is one of the hottest hiring markets in the country is Philippines. Grip on student loans. Until you get a job, you don't pay.
All right, good. All right, let's go over this and make sure we all understand it. So in a few months, another graduating class. So that's what we call the group of students who are graduating. They're called a graduating class of college students will stumble out into. What does it mean to stumble out into?
I don't know. Stumble out is a
kick
phrasal
out.
verb. No.
Say it again, Stefano.
Stumble out is a phrasal verb.
Yes, it's a phrasal
like-
verb.
It's like kick out somebody to how do you say a wild word in where
Okay.
you can't
All
find
right,
a job. Something.
I have the video on me so I can demonstrate this, what it looks like. Okay, so stumble out, it kind of means when you walk out. Okay, but when you don't know how to walk very good and you're kind of just like this, like you're drunk or something, you're stumbling. Maybe you're going to fall over. Maybe you're about to trip. So little kids, when they're toddlers, like ages 2, 1, 2, 3, sometimes they stumble. That means they fall down or they walk in a way where they're not very sure of themselves. Okay, so this phrase here, to stumble out into, brings up an image of these college graduates who are going to stumble out into the job market. They're not going to walk out necessarily with lots of confidence, but they're going to go kind of maybe falling down, and it's not going to be easy. So it's like walking, but not very straight, not very
Balance.
yeah, balanced. Good, that's a good word. Not very balanced. So out of balance, kind of. So that's what it means. These students are going to stumble out into, and it's what are they going to stumble into? An unforgiving job market. So what does that describe? How are they describing the job market? What would that be? Unforgiving. What do they mean there?
No forgiven.
Yeah, right. So forgiving would be like you forgive and everything's good, but unforgiving means it's very tough. It's a very tough job market. It's like take no prisoners. They don't really care. The businesses are there, and it might not be very easy for you to get a job because it's been weighed down. So that's another phrasal verb there for people who are watching out for those. To be weighed down means like if you feel weighed down, like something's on your shoulder, it's very heavy. So the economy is being weighed down by staggering, that means a lot of debt. So lots of companies in the United States have gone bankrupt. They no longer are companies, and lots of companies have less workers and stuff. So because of that, because of the debt and everything that's been happening in the U.S. economy, the job market is not so good right now. Okay, so that's what that one sentence is saying, all these things. Okay, so but one school in one of the hottest hiring markets, so that just means a place where they're hiring more people. And so that's in the San Francisco Bay Area. They're flipping the script. What does to flip mean? Anybody know what to flip means? Turning. If you flip something, like you can flip a pancake, you turn it over. So if you're going to flip the script on student loans, they're going to make it backwards. So usually you have to take out a lot of money in order to go to school for a couple of years, and then you hopefully can find a job. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But even if you don't, you have to pay your loans back. So what they're doing is they're making it the opposite. They're flipping it. And they're saying, we aren't going to make you pay until you get a job. Okay. Yes, Tarcisio, it's to change the side. You flip it over. So it's like to turn it to the opposite. So is anybody here? Did you have any student loans? Did you have to take money out to go to the university? Maria Jose, you're shaking your head no.
No.
Is that because it's free in Colombia for you, or
No,
you
it's
just
not
paid?
free, but I pay like let me see, 200 $200 per semester per
Uh-huh.
6 months. Yeah,
That's
but
pretty cheap.
all my degree, I was how do you say? I was with a beca. I don't know the name.
A
With
scholarship?
a scholarship. Yeah,
Scholarship? Yep.
yeah.
Okay. That's nice. Yeah. Does anybody here have any student loans? Stefano, did you go to college? Did you need to take out student loans?
Okay, several years ago.
Yeah.
I'm 44.
So did you have a loan when you went to college?
Yes,
Yeah.
very long time.
Did you pay it off?
No, the public school is free. It was
Oh,
free.
yeah. Was free. Okay.
Like
Yes. So that is Pedro, what about you? How old are you? Have you gone to college?
And no, I am 16 old.
I know we have some young people in the class today. Tarcisio's young too in body. Okay, Harinson, what about you? Did you have to take out any loans or anything?
No. I went to a public university in Colombia,
Yes.
but my wife does.
Oh, okay.
She got a loan
Uh-huh.
in an institution here in Colombia. It's called ICETES. She's paying monthly.
Yes, those are her payments. She has monthly payments. Yes.
Monthly payment.
Yes. And Fernando, how about you?
I'm going to the university. My university is free, and I will do the civil engineer.
Uh-huh.
Here we have to do a test. It's called vestibular. Then we can come into the universities, free universities.
Wow. So where are you?
I'm from Brazil.
Oh, okay, Brazil. Yeah, you're saying. That's nice.
Thank you.
Facundo, how about you?
Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
No, my university was published, so it was for free.
Uh-huh. You guys are lucky. Diego, how about you?
Hi, well, at this point in my life, I didn't take a loan for anything, just saving money or doing a budget to pay my education.
Uh-huh. Good. And Dayro, how about you? Oh, your microphone is muted.
Okay, as one of my classmates said before, I have student loans with ICETEX. And in my case, I don't have to pay right now, but when I finish all my major.
Yeah. Yeah,
so I have to pay all the major, but when I finish. But there is something interesting with these student loans because I get good grades each semester. I won't pay anything.
Oh, really? How come?
Because I win that program of the government.
Oh, okay. So if you do well, then you don't have to pay.
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Oh, that's nice. Are you doing well?
Oh yeah, okay.
That's an incentive.
I have to.
How about you? You're muted. What happened? Oh, we lost somebody. Okay.
No,
It's not working? Okay. All right, let's keep going on. Pedro, I'm gonna read this one and then I'm gonna have you read it. So it's called App Academy. App Academy in San Francisco and now New York offers a 9-week, 90 hours a week boot camp to turn programming novices into code jockeys. They just graduated their second class last Friday. Of the 15 students to graduate from the first class, 14 have found jobs. Co-founder Kush Patel says, typical annual salary, he says, more than $80,000. Okay, Pedro?
APP Academy in San Francisco and now in New York offers a 9-week, 19 hours a week boot camp to turn programming novices into code jockeys.
Mm-hmm.
They just graduated their second class last Friday. Of the 15 students to graduate from the first class, 14 have found jobs. Co-founder Krush Patel says, typical annual salary, he says, more than 1,800
$80,000.
80,000.
Yes, $80,000. Okay, so here we go. They're in San Francisco and now they're in New York. So like I said, it's short. It's a 9-week, 90 hours per week boot camp. And they're turning these guys who are programming novices, novice means beginner, into code jockeys. So the word jockey is usually referred to the person who rides a horse in a horse race. But they use that word for code people too because they it's just a word to describe them. They're code jockeys, so they're really good at writing code, the programming code. And it sounds like they're doing pretty good so far. 14 out of 15, so almost 100% of their graduates got jobs. And they didn't just get minimum wage jobs; they got pretty good jobs. Not very many people in the United States make $80,000 a year in their jobs. That's a lot of money. Yes. Maria Jose, do you think that's a lot of money?
Yep. I don't know. Yeah. Yes. It's a good salary.
Yes. Petroleum engineers probably make good money too, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope that too.
Yeah, you hope so. Yes. Let's see. Does anybody, Facundo, do you think that's a good salary for just graduating and then getting a job?
It's a big sum.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Ahmed, are you there? I think I just muted you. I just noticed that you came in, but there was some background noise, so I muted you, Ahmed.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, hey there. Hi there. So we're just reading, I want to make sure you have the link. So if you look over here in the Verbling chat, I'll post it up again. You can go to where we're reading. Okay, so they're doing pretty good so far. It sounds pretty good. I want to make $80,000 a year because I don't make $80,000 a year. We don't want to charge up front because we feel pretty strongly about tying the payment to the outcome, says Patel. If they can't find a job, we've screwed up somehow. Okay, Maria Jose, can you read that?
Okay. We don't want to charge up front because we feel pretty strongly about tying the payment to the outcome, says Patel. If they can't find a job, we've screwed up somehow.
Okay. So here's a few more phrases you guys can work on. We don't want to charge up front. So to charge up front, that's an expression. It means to charge at the beginning of something. So sometimes when maybe you book a hotel or something like that, sometimes they charge you up front. That means you have to pay before you even go and use the service. That's the same thing with the universities. You have to pay your tuition up front. That means before you start the program, you have to pay. But they're not doing that. And the reason why? Because they feel pretty strongly about tying the payment to the outcome. What's What's the outcome in this case that they're looking for?
The earn of the students?
Yeah, getting a job, right? So they're tying the payment when they get paid to the outcome,
Lisa,
and the outcome that they want is a job.
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
When in the period when the student recently graduated is finding a job.
Yes.
This period I can name it death period, or I don't know the name that in USA call it.
Oh, let me think. I don't know if we have a special name for it. You're just yeah, probably some people say different things. They probably just describe it more. So are you saying that in Colombia they have a special term for that?
Yeah, we called it periodo muerto.
That's the time between when you graduate from college and you're looking for a job. So the time between that.
Yeah, and you have to pay a special loan like from ICETEX or something like that. They give you like a period that period like about a year or something like that to start in pay the how do you say the quotes the
what?
the loan.
The loan. Oh, okay. So if you took out a loan, yes. Yeah, I think that that's called in the United States something like, well, in terms of the loan, it's called like a grace period. So they give you a grace period.
Yeah, I have, that is it. Yeah. It's the same.
Yes, that's for example like credit card companies. For example, you might be charging on your credit card, but you have a grace period and you don't have to pay until they bill you. So that whole time that maybe you bought something for a couple $100 on the 1st of the month, but the bill doesn't come until the 20th, that whole period is your grace period. You don't have to pay, right? Yeah. But in terms of just when you're looking for a job, that could go on for a long time here in the United States nowadays. Some people are having a very hard time finding jobs right out of college, especially jobs in their fields. They might be able to find a job like a minimum wage type job, but not a career job necessarily. Okay, so he's saying, Tarcisio, you were asking about this. If they can't find a job, so they're talking about if the students that we just taught in the boot camp can't find a job, then we've screwed up somehow. What does it mean to screw up?
To lost, maybe? To...
Yeah, it means more like we've screwed up, we've done a bad job, or we messed something up, or we didn't do... He's just saying if they can't find a job, then we didn't do our job. We didn't do a good job of preparing them. So he's taking the responsibility of making sure that they actually have the skills that they need to go out and find a job. This is very, very different than in a regular university where they just teach you whatever they teach you and it's up to you to go find the job. And they don't really necessarily prepare you to find a job. So for example, a lot of students who attend the university, they learn a lot of really cool stuff and they really like their experience, but they didn't necessarily have any kind of business training or job training. Now, Maria Jose, you told me that you did an internship, so that was like an on-the-job training, right?
Yeah, but my internship was like a different kind because was about costs, like drill cost and perforating cost is quite different from my actual field, like is reservoir engineering. So was quite different, but it was a good experience because you learned a lot of different things that you don't know before. Didn't know before.
Yeah, and so that's kind of how it is in the university. If you are lucky enough to have a job in your field as like an internship or some kind of summer program or something, then you actually start learning more about your actual career in the business. But if you don't, then a lot of people don't really know how to go out and find jobs, or what we say, market themselves. You have to market yourselves to companies. So this is a really big difference in the way that he's looking at, or this company is looking at, training people. They're really putting the responsibility on them to do a good job. And they know if they did a good job because their students will get jobs, because they know that they're preparing these people for jobs that are needed. There's a lot of jobs in the United States for computer programmers and web developers. They're not training people in an area that we don't really need a lot of people, like, for example, people who study literature, for example. That's very fine to do that, but oftentimes they have a difficulty finding a very good job. So, okay, so in tech hubs, so technology hubs like Silicon Valley, he's not wrong. Qualified programmers in cities like San Francisco and New York fend off recruiters as multiple companies bid for their services. New recruits signing up for App Academy promise to pay 15% of what they earn during their first year on the job, payable over the first 6 months after they start working. Okay, Fernando, will you read that?
Okay, start now?
Yes, please.
Okay, in tech hubs like Silicon. I said
yeah, it's Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Silicon Valley, he's not wrong. Qualified programmers in cities like San Francisco and New York fend off recruiters.
Recruiters. Yeah, you're right there. Fend off recruiters.
Okay, thank you. Recruiters as multiple companies bid for their service. Now, new recruits signing up for App Academy promise to pay 50% of what they earn during the first year on the job, payable over the first 6 months after they start working.
Okay, good. So qualified programmers, what does the word qualified mean?
Qualified?
Yeah, they're qualified. That means they are able. If you are qualified to do a job, that means you are able to do the job.
You are capable of?
Yeah, you're capable. So if you're qualified, so when you go to look for a job, first of all, they want to know if you are qualified. Can you really do the job that they need you to do? If you can, then you're qualified. And some ways that you show that you're qualified for something is maybe you have a certificate, maybe you have a degree from some university where you graduated, maybe you have job experience. That's how you know, that's how the other company knows if you are qualified. So what they're saying is there's lots of people that are qualified in cities like San Francisco and New York, but there's not enough. Because if you're a programmer in New York or San Francisco and you're very qualified, you have to fend off. So fend off means you have to watch out for them and tell them to get lost, basically. So that means people, if they know that you're a very good programmer, they might be coming up to you all the time and offering you jobs and asking you if you want to work for them. And so that's what they're saying. So there's lots of need in that area. So new recruits signing up for App Academy promise to pay 15% of what they earn during the first year on the job. So that's how App Academy is going to make their money. They want 15% of your first year's salary over in the first 6 months. Does that sound like a good plan to you guys? Maria Jose, would that sound like a good plan to you if you got a good job and you didn't have to pay for your training until you got a good job and then you paid them that much? Anybody? Fernando?
Just a moment.
15%.
Oh, it's good, really good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Okay, for the school, the math isn't too shabby. That's another phrase there. Too shabby, not too bad. If they succeed at placing their students, if 15 students get jobs at $80,000 salaries, that works out to $180,000 commission. So that's how much they're going to make on all those students if all of those students got that same level of a job. Facundo, will you read that, please?
Okay. For the school, the math isn't too shabby if they succeed at placing their students. If 15 students get jobs at 80,000 salaries, that would out to a 108,000 commissions.
So their commission is how much money they make on the students. So there's the guy. That's one of the guys, the co-founder. That's Kush Patel. And I'll read this
He
one.
looks boring.
He looks what?
He looks boring.
Well, he looks like he spends a lot of time staring at the computer. Okay. App Academy's model reverses, so that's the same thing as flipping, reversing, or turning it around. Model reverses the traditional incentive structure for higher education. If you're paying out of pocket for schooling, then the onus is on you to get the most out of the experience that you can. In other words, you want to get your money's worth. At App Academy, Patel says the instructors are motivated to give you the highest quality learning experience they can, since the school doesn't get paid if you don't learn. Okay. Diego?
Yes?
Can you read that right there?
Of course. Okay. App Academy's model reverses the traditional incentive structure for higher education. If you're paying out of pocket for schooling, then the onus is on you to get the most out of the experience that you can. In other words, you want to get your money's worth. At App Academy, Patel says instructors are motivated to give you the highest quality learning experience they can, since the school doesn't get paid if you don't learn.
Right. So there's a lot of things in here we can talk about. All right, so App Academy's model, so it's a model, it's a different type of thing, reverses the traditional incentive structure for higher education. So the traditional, that just means how things are really usually done or how they have been done for many years. And the traditional incentive, what is an incentive? Anybody know what that word means?
Motivation.
Yes.
It's something that it given to you for make you motivate to do something.
Yes. So an incentive is something that somebody gives to you. I'm writing it in the chat here too. Gives to you to get you motivated to do something. So in this case, the traditional incentive structure for higher education was that you're paying for it. So the incentive is get your money's worth. Get your money's worth because you spent your time. Maybe it took you 3, 4 years, 5 years to graduate from the university. You paid the money out of your pocket or you took a loan. And so now it's up to you to make sure that you use that information. So the onus is on you. That's a phrase that we use a lot, and it means the responsibility is yours. So the responsibility for you to make use of your degree or your training is on you. So you're the one who has to make sure that you can get a job or that you can do something with it. The school is not responsible for that. They are only responsible for teaching you. They don't care really too much what happens after they teach you. So in other
Lisa,
words, yes?
another expression that I can use for the same meaning is up to you?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's up to you. In other words, you want to get your money's worth. That means you get you get what you paid for. So you presumably you went to the university, you paid money, and now you're going to be able to get a job. That's what you paid for. At the App Academy, Patel says the instructors are motivated to give you the highest quality learning experience because otherwise they're not going to get paid. So if the instructors are kind of lame or they're not very good or they're kind of not really doing a very good job, then their students will not get jobs. They won't have the skills to get a job. Then that is not going to work because then they won't have a job and they don't have to pay then, right? So the school is not going to make any money unless the students really are qualified and really know what they're doing and can get a job. And it sounds like so far that it's working, that the students are qualified, they do learn, and they do get a job. So that's the reversal of the incentive. So can somebody tell me in a sentence, what is the incentive for the instructors? Why are they motivated to teach? I just said it, now feed it back to me. What did I just say? The teachers are motivated because why?
Maybe they are motivated because they see that the students are getting knowledge and they are learning things from them.
Well, that's one motivation, but what is the monetary motivation? What's the motivation?
Salary.
Yes.
Because they could pay?
Yes, because you can say the teachers are motivated because they will not get paid unless their students get jobs. Okay? Does everybody understand that?
Yes.
Okay. So that's a pretty big motivation because you could be doing a lot of work and then you don't make any money, right? Okay. So in the current job market, at least, the only worry for App Academy is if students decide to squander the investment the school has made in them. For example, after all the intensive instruction, they decide they don't want to be programmers. Okay, so let's hear how they're going to deal with that. All right, Daryl, will you read that paragraph, please? Daryl, I think you need to turn on your mic again, probably.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
In the current job market, at least, the only worry for App Academy is if students decide to squander the investment the school has made in them. For example, after all the intensive instruction, they decide they don't want to be programmers.
Yeah. So basically, we hear in this one, I think maybe the word squander. We use that a lot. Squander your investment. That means waste your money. So not use your investment. So you go and you spend money. The school is investing in you. So their only risk, we could say, they have a risk, and that is what happens if you invest all this time into a student and then they decide, I don't really want to be a programmer, and then they don't go get a job. Then you won't get paid because you already made that plan there for only getting paid if they get a job. So let's see what happens. The risk to us is students might want to go back to school or start their own businesses or simply change their minds, Patel says. We're actually very confident students can get jobs. Okay, Buddy?
Okay. The risk to us is students might want to go back to school or start their own business or simply change their minds. Patel says, we are actually very confident students that can get jobs.
Yes. So he knows there's a risk. You know, people change their minds all the time. But he's pretty confident. He's pretty sure. He's pretty. He's making. an educated guess based on the fact that they are going to really train these guys and they are going to be able to get jobs. So to keep students on track, App Academy requires them to sign a good faith agreement that they will pursue jobs as developers when they graduate. They also have to pony up a $3,000 refundable deposit to hold their spots and show they're committed. Patel says they're sometimes flexible on the deposit depending on a student's circumstances. Okay, Stefano, you want to read that?
Yes.
Okay.
To keep students on track, App Academy requires them to sign a good faith agreement that they will pursue jobs as developers when they graduate. They also have to pony up a $3,000 refundable deposit to hold their spots and show they're committed. Patel says they're sometimes flexible on the deposit depending on the student's circumstances.
Good. Okay, right. So to keep students on track, to keep on track or to stay on track, does everybody know what that means? Anybody? If I say make sure you stay on track with what you're going to be doing. So for example, if you're learning English and you want to keep yourself on track or you want to stay on track, that means that every day you do something in English probably and you're staying on track to learning. You keep studying. Tan in the chat says you stay focused. So they want to keep their students on track. And the way they're doing this is by having them, so to require means they have to. It's a prerequisite or an agreement they have to make that they will go try to find jobs as developers. So they have to sign this paper that says, I'm going to, after I finish this, I will go try to find a job as a developer, because that's what they're making the commitment to. That's a good faith agreement. So in good faith just means they're not going to hold it to you, but it's in good faith. That is your intention. You have a good intention, and that's what your plan is. And they have to pony up. That's a phrase there. Pony up. What does that mean? Pony up $3,000. What do you think it means? What could it? They have to. What could I put in place of to pony up? They have to what?
Pony up.
Hey.
We have to save at least a certain amount of money.
They have to give them that money. So they actually do have to pay some money. So they have to pay. So if you say, I want to do this, you have to pony up, which means you have to give to them $3,000, but it's refundable. So, but it's just a certain amount of money that says, okay, I'm committed to doing this. I'm really going to study hard and learn my best. So that's to hold their spots, to show that they're committed, okay? And they say that sometimes you can be flexible. So when you're flexible, that means things might change. So depending on your personal circumstances, so for example, if you don't have $3,000, maybe they will lower that amount. So maybe you only have to pay $1,000. They just want you have to show them that you are committed, that you will do this. You're not some kind of flaky person that says, oh yeah, I'll do that, and then you don't do it. All right, let's finish up here. Admission to the school is competitive. Prospective students are asked to read an intro to coding and then take a timed coding test as well as a live coding test during an admissions interview. The intent isn't to show previous coding knowledge, but rather programmer potential. The admission rate is sub 10%, Patel says. Okay, Pedro, will you read that?
Okay. Admission to the school is competitive. Prospective students are asked to read an intro to coding and they take a timed coding tests, as well as live coding tests during an admissions interview. The intent isn't to show previous coding knowledge, but rather programmer potential. The admission rate is sub 10%, Patel says.
Yeah. Okay, so they're pretty competitive. That means lots of people are trying to get into this school, this training program. And so they want you to have a little bit of an introduction to coding and make sure that this is something that you're interested in. And the admission rate is minus 10%. So that means not very many people get in. It's very difficult to get in. They want to really know that they're getting the right people to come in who are going to do well. So though most students so far have been college graduates, so this is after they've already graduated from college, they're doing this, they're coming into the program with a range of life experience. The average age is 28, and the classes include many mid-career switchers as well as recent grads. Okay, Maria Jose?
Okay. So most students so far have been college graduates. They're coming into the program with a range of life experience. The average age is 28, and the classes include many mid-careers, switchers, as well as recent grads.
Yeah. So lots of different people. They're not young. They're not 19, 20-year-olds. They're older. They've maybe already been having some kind of job, some kind of other types of trainings. Most of the first class was unemployed when they came in, and Patel says couldn't have afforded a big upfront tuition payment. They were people who didn't have enough capital to invest in themselves. Finding a job for most after the class was over, Patel says, took an average of 4 weeks. Okay, Fernando?
Okay. Most of the first class was unemployed when they came in end. Patel says, couldn't have afford a big upfront. I don't know this word.
Tuition?
I don't know how. Tuition payment. Tuition payment. They were people who didn't have enough capital to invest in themselves. Finding a job for most after the class was over, Patel says, took an average of 4 weeks.
Yeah. So he said all these people were unemployed, so they didn't have jobs. They were looking for some other type of thing to do, and they didn't have a lot of money to spend, so that's why this works for them. And it only took them 4 weeks to find a job. As a former hedge fund analyst, 25-year-old Patel would appear to know something about investing. His co-founder, 26-year-old Ned Ruggery, knows something about code. Before starting App Academy, he was a developer on Google's search index team. Okay, Facundo?
Okay. As a former hedge fund analyst, 25 years old, Patel would appear to know something about investing in. His co-founder, 26 years old, Ned Ruggery, knows something about code. Before starting App Academy, he was a developer of Google Search Index team.
So they made a team. They're pretty young still, 25 and 26. Yeah. Okay. Though the curriculum is centered on learning web development with an emphasis on Ruby on Rails and JavaScript, Patel says the goal is to train full-fledged software engineers. Okay, Diego?
Okay. So the curriculum is centered on learning web development with an emphasis on Ruby on Rails and JavaScript. Patel says the goal is to train full-fledged software engineers.
So Ruby on Rails and JavaScript is programming for websites, but they also want to make sure they know how to do other types of programming. It's just a skill that doesn't come easy to everyone and is just so valuable, Patel says. For App Academy, the value of that skill and the instructor's talent at passing it on is what will keep the lights on, not just for graduates, but the school itself. We will always have significant skin in the game, Patel says, for every student. Okay, Dero?
Okay, it's just a skill that doesn't come easy to everyone and it's just so valuable. Patel says, for App Academy, the value of that skill and the instructor's talent at passing it on is what will keep the light on not just for graduates, but the school itself. We will always have significant skin in the game, Patel says, for every student.
Yeah. So to have skin in the game just means that they have interest. They have an interest in making sure that these students actually get jobs because otherwise they don't get paid. Traditional teachers do not have skin in the game. It doesn't really matter to them whether or not you get a job because they're still going to make their salary. They're still going to have a job themselves. So that's what it means to have skin in the game. It matters to these people. Okay, does anybody have a comment? We just start running out of time here, but if anybody has an idea or a comment or wishes you could go to the dev camp. We didn't have any developers tonight. Sometimes we have some web developers in the classroom. So, yeah, would it be nice if you could be very qualified to get a job?
Here?
Yeah. What do you think, Maria Jose? Would you have liked to find a job in 4 weeks? Maria Jose?
Yeah, would be excellent. Yeah.
Yeah, go tell your professors to get you a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. Thanks for coming to class and reading. That was it sounded like it was kind of difficult. Did you find it difficult or?
Yeah, was like a high level for me because there are a lot of unknown words.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but that is interesting. You learn a new vocabulary, so
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Okay. Yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely read it through again yourself and see if you remember. And always try to use the context clues to try to help you figure out what it could be saying. What would make sense as another word to put in there if you don't understand that one word, like pony up, $3,000. That means to pay money. So.
Thanks, Lisa.
Okay, yeah,
See
you
you
guys
soon.
have a good evening. I'll see you again. Good night.
Thank you, Lisa. Goodbye.
Goodbye.